Los Angeles has been broken for a while, but now it's also broke. As Anthony Cabasa showed us, the ICE riots were not only destructive, but incredibly expensive to respond to.
Oh, yeah, actually, now that the LA riots are in the rearview mirror, what did they accomplish? Literally nothing.
Federal raids all across the county.
Content? It
As
was
the Trump
great
administration
content.
openly states, it only caused them to double down.
On to LA Mayor Karen Bass.
That's right, bro. The guy was like Ludwig. The thing is, like, yes, 100%. Like, and that's the thing. The more they cry, the more you need to just keep going and do it even more. Just completely, bro, break their spirit, break their soul.
Demanding that
The
ICE
mayor's name is
operations
even Karen?
completely stop
Yeah.
here in Los Angeles. Vance laughed and said there is a 0% chance that is going to happen. He says the more riots, the more protests, the more activists and politicians that interfere, they're going to double down on their operations at the federal level.
Now, it would be one thing if all this did was
You love
waste
to
the
see it.
EBT tribe's time, and possibly whoever was mysteriously funding these riots. But no,
Where do they come
this is
from?
going to domino into the collapse of Los Angeles. As of yesterday,
I live in California. It's weird that Kamala's running for governor. I mean, to be fair, okay, she did fuck everything up too as vice president. Like, yeah, I was gonna say at least she didn't light the country on fire, but then I remembered actually, like, well, when they were president, they did have those fires, like all those riots and shit too. So I don't know. I mean, y'all are fucked, man. Like, y'all are fucked. And you can't come here, by the way. But unless you're hot, and a girl, by the way, I don't want any competition, okay? Things are hard enough for me already. Unless you're a hot girl, you cannot come to Texas. You have to stay there.
LA just declared a fiscal emergency, which is already on top of how back in April they proposed laying off 1,600 employees, with 400 of them being from the LAPD, asking for a $2 billion bailout.
Just what they need. Less police. For sure.
Let's be clear. 1 month after that request, California announced a $12 billion deficit, citing Trump's tariffs. So
Trump's what?
But after those proposed cuts, the anti-ICE protests and rallies cost the city an additional $32 million.
I don't believe that. I think it was way more than that. I think that they are underrepresenting it because they don't want to show how badly they fucked up. There's no way it was only $32 million. I feel like even if they said $320 million, I would be like, maybe.
Causing them to need 248 police non-sworn personnel layoffs and cutting 41 actual firefighters, even though they're...
So you didn't even have enough firefighters to put out the fires of the cars. So the solution to that is to get rid of the more fire. It's like, imagine if everybody hates the police. Like, imagine if you're a firefighter out in California and you're just getting kicked in the dick by this. You had nothing to do with this. You didn't have anything to do at all. Oh my God. How are you going to say the LA protests didn't accomplish anything, yet they cost the government, which they disagree with, $232 million? Let me address your question because it's just so stupid. I can't let it go. Oh, bro, like you lose the vote. This is a January 6th. You find he's one of these guys. This is your last message, okay? Yeah, you're done after this. How are you going to say the LA protests didn't accomplish anything, yet they cost the government, which they disagree with, $32 million? Because the government that they agree with is the local government, which is the LA government. The LA government is on board with them, and they actively did not cooperate with ICE. So it cost the Los Angeles department that they agreed with. This is, again, it's the local government and state government and city government versus federal government. And then you go, I think it's more than that. I don't even know. They're sending retards. That's what I was going to say. They're not sending their best, but how can people be that stupid? Because people like that, you have to understand, is that people like that are like very, very low intelligence, but they don't know it. So what they do is they come up with these like, like if I don't think about this at all, it makes sense, like gotchas.
those wildfires that recently hit Los Angeles, a lot of their fire trucks weren't in service as they just laid off the civilian employees responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of those vehicles. As Los Angeles continues to decimate their ability to enforce a law, citing finances. Which is awfully interesting, as the LA Times just reported 2 days before that the city council approved $250,000 for the city attorney to bring in an outside legal team to respond to the Trump administration.
How is it that you have a fucking... So if they have all this illegal alien labor, and they're constantly running a deficit, doesn't that kind of prove that the whole idea that these illegal aliens are like helping the economy? Like, either they are so astronomically retarded that they have this massive advantage that they still can't manage to overcome, or maybe having a bunch of illegal aliens that can't even speak English in the country doesn't actually increase the economy. I don't know, guys. I wonder which one it is. And actually, wait a minute. No, I don't. We don't have to choose. It's obviously both.
Their article with, they have been willing to detain and deport people that are here legally. I don't think I've seen a single instance of this, and let me know if you have in the comment section, but it just seems to be more of this fear-mongering that only reinforces the idea that local residents need to protest the feds, which will only dig them deeper into debt, forcing them to lay off more police officers to keep the citizens safe, with seemingly unlimited amounts for attorneys to keep themselves safe. And again, who does a city expect to pick up the check? You, the average citizen.
This is just, bro, like, the thing is that, like, whenever Trump worked at McDonald's, like, you think about the aura that came from that versus her doing this. This is just fucking sad, bro.
As Mayor Bass did a press event cleaning up some graffiti in her $100 Nike Dunks. But then the residents were upset to leave an email asking them to give up their Saturday to volunteer to clean up the city after they let the rioters destroy it. As even after the riots ended, they're still vandalizing their own community to fight ICE.
Wait, what is this?
They're still vandalizing
Trump, fuck ICE,
their own
ICE. You ran out of room for the third one, didn't you? They're actually fucking retarded. Oh my god. That's so fucking sad.
It's insane that none of this is actually effective in pushing out the feds. The city has just taken this bizarre position of defending the destruction under the assumption that the regular citizens will pay the tab. As the most outrageous aspect of this broke city is a rent freeze for immigrants.
Labor unions are joining forces today demanding action to protect Angelenos against immigration raids. The local SEIU 721 labor union, along with Crew and the Tenants Union, are
Don't take our slaves. No, please don't take. Who's gonna clean the house? Oh no, this is so fucking bad, man. Oh my god, they're tenants. Yes.
Asking the LA City Council to pass an emergency protection to help families who may face eviction due to the immigration raids. The unions say many families may not be able to cover rent due to a family member who may have been taken by ICE, or who have family who may not be able to leave their homes due to fear of kidnapping. The groups claim Latinos make up majority.
I like how they use the term kidnapping. It's like, yeah, guys, no, that's called being arrested. It's called being detained by the police. I know this sounds crazy, but that's what happens. They're being kidnapped. Yes, it's so disingenuous. It is.
Nowadays, I mean, you don't know who's a cop, who's an ICE agent, now who's a bounty hunter. Now, I can be dressed as a cop.
Exactly.
And just go kidnap people.
No matter what you're legal.
When has this happened? They're being disappeared? For sure.
As someone that lived in LA during the lockdowns, I despise this, as at the time I was furloughed from my job, where basically I had the option to not pay rent and not get evicted until I got my job back. But even though I struggled, I still paid it just to not have a huge payment at the end, not knowing the city would essentially forgive the rent debt and settle with the landlords. Meaning I just wasted over $10,000 from my own bank account and countless more as the city's funds would go to paying off my neighbor's rent. And good riddance as they're about to do the same thing again, digging themselves deeper into debt, on top of the new debt they just requested.
City Council authorized a $5 million loan to help pay overtime for LAPD officers working around the clock during recent ICE protests in downtown LA. Officials say the city of Los Angeles has already spent $19.7 million in response to the protests, with nearly $12 million of that money paying for overtime for the officers.
And correct me if
what retard even does this?
Dollars of that money.
We're gonna light a cardboard on fire and then it's gonna light the car on fire.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought those LA coppers don't actually get paid overtime. They just bank those extra work hours as vacation time to be used at a later date. So I don't really know what this extra $5 million is for, other than covering the shortcomings they already couldn't afford. And it's only getting worse from here.
This is video from 9th and Spring this morning, and it sure looks to the layman that those LAPD officers on scene are at least helping the operation as those federal agents took people into custody.
Just arrest them, bro. Just arrest them, put them in jail. What they should have done, this is what they should have gone out with nets. And they should have gone with nets. Like, I think, like, I mean, you know, because, like, I really, you know, I like content, right? I like making content. And I think that they need nets, like the big ones, like, you know, you catch a butterfly, but just like a really, really big one. And like, you could put them under people, right? And you can make it with like Kevlar and like Ebolas. Yeah, no, because then they could get hurt. And then like, what if they break their arm? Because then that would be a problem for part 2. And then you put on ankle bracelets on all of them and you make all these people clean up the whole fucking city. That's it. Yep, you make them clean the whole fucking thing up. Like, they have to clean up, like, the blown up cars. They have to clean up, like, all of that KKK shit, etc. Yep, and you could even have it, that's true, you could have Mr. Beast do it. That's a good idea.
He has just come out with a statement saying that is not true. They were simply there on a call of a kidnapping, and once they realized that was not taking place, they were there for crowd control. A lot of these people say are in this group are calling these kidnappings and not people being taken into custody by these federal agents.
Which I believe stems from local Reddit posts.
Just the secret police.
Where I've seen countless replies with thousands of upvotes suggesting this exact tactic, as this should be considered the same as filing a false police report, as they know what they're witnessing, but are just feigning stupidity in order to waste police resources. With the real
anybody who's intentionally wasting police resources should be, you know, they should be charged for something. Like, or fined massively. Like, because, again, they're just wasting people's money, right?
Losers being any law-abiding taxpayers that actually need the police, but get stuck with 1-hour hold times with 6-hour response times. And where are the sheriffs during all of this? Well, after Trump sent those B-2s into Iran, the official LA County Sheriff's account posted, "Their hearts go out to the victims and families impacted in Iran," which is a
Iran didn't have the internet at that point. They shut down the internet because they didn't want the people of Iran to realize that they were getting their ass beat, and so they shut it down. So like the people in Iran wouldn't even be able to read that to begin with. They're talking. It's literally just a virtue signal for like other weirdos in that city to be like, oh wow, we really care about them.
Which is essentially an American sheriff sending condolences to Iranian nuclear facilities.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more Los Angeles than that. Now, they did try to quietly edit out their condolences in that post, but eventually had to delete it due to the backlash, later posting an apology stating they fell short of expectations. Los Angeles County is officially cooked, as nothing in this entire video seems to show the city actually cares about their law-abiding, tax-paying, regular citizens that keep the city running. It's all about coddling criminals, virtue signaling, and deficit spending. And that comes from the top, as when the rioters were burning the city, apparently Governor Newsom was too busy sipping wine. But when Vice President J.D. Vance stopped by to check in on the Marines saving the city, out of nowhere, Newsom now wants to come through for a debate. Parts of his state are on fire.
He's trying to debate on this shit? Like, bro, like, you need to debate whether you want to put out the fire or not.
But the only thing that gets him out there is performative nonsense for his presidential campaign and his podcast. So if you appreciate
he not gonna run for president. Gavin Newsom is gonna get immediately disqualified for being a rat. And then also, like, him trying to act like more Republican and, like, distance himself from, like, woke stuff is just going to make everybody hate him, man. What about some face masks? Some cultures cover their mouth to stop spreading their sickness. Why would I care about somebody's culture doesn't overrule the law? I don't care about your culture. Follow the law. Law comes first, culture second.
Light order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality. Simple. Subscribe to Decoy Voice.
Yep. No, it's crazy that they actually burn their whole shit down while they're at a deficit. That's insane. Oh my God.